MSNBS just called Karen Americans racist garbage. Yeah, you heard that right. While families are broken, kids go missing, and criminals are set loose, these elites sit in their studios calling you the problem. Let's break this all the way down.
Trump and his supporters, Vance says this all the time. They constantly push this line that you either care about Americans or you care about immigrants, not both. But it's racist garbage. We're an interconnected society of human beings who depend on each other to survive and thrive. And there's not some neat line you can cleave between Americans and foreigners. We just have neighbors and communities. Trump world says that's bunk, that there's just two sides. Trump world says that to make America great again, you need armed federal officers roaming streets and businesses and Home Depot parking lots in search of people to disappear. And now raids on camps of firefighters as they literally battle the largest wildfire in the American Northwest. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and Stephen Miller and their ilk are going to burn the country to the ground if that's what it takes so they can rule over the ashes.
This makes no sense, man. That's MSNBS for you, though. If you think American families should come first, you're racist. These people don't live with consequences. Don't live with the consequences of open borders, man. They don't walk neighborhoods where gangs move in. They don't send their kids to school where predators slip through the cracks. They call it garbage because they've never felt the pain. But while Hayes is on TV running his mouth, it's got this guy. Trump's team is actually out here finding America's missing children.
Out of the 300,000 children, I looked at the numbers just yesterday. We've located over 23,000 of them. So 23,000 locations of the 300,000. Well, President Trump's committed. We're not going to stop till we find every one of them, or at least run every lead down on those 300,000 children. That's a big plus for the administration, because the last administration wasn't even looking for them. So, but as far as with Chicago's coming along with every other sanctuary city. President Trump is committed that we're going to focus and prioritize sanctuary cities, because that is where the problem is. We know for a fact they're releasing public safety threats to the streets every day rather than handing them over to ICE so we can deport them.
First things first, man. I got to give a huge clap to Donald Trump's administration and Tom Homan for what they've been able to accomplish, man. 23,000 kids recovered. 23,000 children who would have stayed lost if not for this administration. Tom Homan, man. As Desiree put it, damn right, Tom Homan deserves the credit. Without him, these kids would still be forgotten. Meanwhile, Biden left 300,000 children unaccounted for. I really want you to let that sink in. The left talks compassion, but what's compassionate about ignoring lost children? What's humane about prioritizing sanctuary cities that release predators back onto the streets? Please. Oh, wait. Same thing. We'll wait. And if that wasn't insulting enough, CNN went on air suggesting ICE agents should risk their families. Yeah, risk their family lives just to make the leftists feel good.
Yes, but that is different from policing. We all know that. But Scott, I know you were going to say something. Scott was going to say something.
On the masks, I actually interviewed the director of ICE today, Todd Lyons, on my radio show for about 20 minutes. I asked him point blank about the masks. I said, what is the situation with the masks? Why is it happening? What is your observation? He said, I don't like the masks. I wish we didn't have to do the masks. He said back in March we weren't. But then something changed. And what changed was people started doxing these ICE agents, posting their personal information, posting where their families are, posting where their kids' schools are, putting them and their families in jeopardy. And he doesn't want them to have to do it.
That is a risk that every law enforcement officer in this country faces. Everyone.
You think you think they should face that risk?
Listen, I'm not saying that that is right. I'm not saying that is good. It's terrible. No one should be doxxed. No one's families should be brought into their work. But what I am saying is that there are beat officers in this country, in every city in America, who are doing their jobs in extremely dangerous situations, and they show their face. Why? Because they work for the people. That is the reason. So the argument here is that's a risk that you take when you take on this responsibility of having law enforcement power in this country. Because the accountability is between you and the people.
Yeah, well, I don't agree that law enforcement officers in any agency should have to face the risk of their family being assaulted or themselves.
I don't agree with that either. But I do think that the accountability piece of it cannot be ignored. Do you think that there should not be
They're always the persecutor and the victim.
Law enforcement, regardless of what agency they represent.
Of course there should be accountability, and I agree with you about the relationship between policing agencies and the community.
This is insanity that I just watched. Assaults on ICE agents, we know and been told, is up over 800% since January. Families of these agents are being stalked. Homes are vandalized, and even the children are being threatened. And CNN shrugs you like it's just part of the job. Imagine being told your husband, your wife, or child has to be a target just so the police can feel transparent. This isn't journalism, y'all. It's propaganda designed to weaken the very people protecting us, y'all. Keep that in mind. And the cost of that propaganda is not theoretical at all. It lands directly on American children.
Dramatic video showing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arresting convicted sex offender 21-year-old Ander Cortez Mendez in Falls Church, Virginia on April 2nd. U.S. border agents arrested Cortez Mendez after they say he illegally entered the U.S. near the Rio Grande Valley in Texas in 2018, ICE saying he was supposed to appear before an immigration judge but didn't show up to court. According to ICE, he was arrested in Fairfax County for an alleged sex crime last year in March. Agents issued a detainer against Cortez Mendez with the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center. And then on May 20th of last year, a Fairfax County judge gave him a 3-month suspended sentence after he was found guilty of having sex with the child. Despite being found guilty, ICE says Fairfax County officials did not honor ICE's detainer and released Cortez Mendez back into the community in Northern Virginia. And then last Wednesday, that is when the ICE agents arrested
scum to let this man walk. A Guatemalan national convicted of sexually assaulting a child walks free because a judge suspended his sentence. 3 months. That's all that they gave him. Then they released him into the community, really up until ICE had to step in and do the job our courts obviously refused to do. Tell me again how ICE are the bad guys, please. Tell me again how it's racist to want them protecting children. Please, somebody, please explain this to me. And if you think it's just Virginia, man, let's go to the heart of New York City.
Caballero, venga conmigo. Camine para acá. Camine para acá. No se ponga conmigo. Camine para acá. Back up, guys. Move, please. Stop. Water bottle. You're in the way. You're in the way.
Y'all want us to have compassion. That's one. Another one bites the dust.
Press behind us, press. Behind us, press. Excuse me. In the middle. Make a hole. 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 Make a hole.
Man, this same ponytail, this guy right here, the man bun, he shows up every video, bro. Like, he got to be working with ICE agents, bro. I don't care what you say. Like, if I showed up at my court appearance and seen him, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's over with.
Si tiene hijos en la casa o tiene condiciones médicas, ir a ellos. Aparte de eso, no tiene que hablar con ellos. Tengo miedo de regresarse a su país porque la que usted está explicando eso a mí. Sus derechos. No tiene que hablar con ellos. Los derechos a permanecer en silencio.
Mm-hmm. It's going down. They are waiting. Now, right here, inside New York's 26 Federal Plaza, ICE doing what local officials want. This is what enforcement is supposed to look like when sanctuary policies fail. And yet, the media frames these operations as cruelty instead of what they are. Necessary protection for law-abiding citizens. It's not rocket science. It's not just New York either. Los Angeles, we know, up in flames, right? Just saw a raid that destroys one of the biggest lies Democrats keep telling. Yeah, this ain't on mute, is it? No, it's not on mute. Five illegal aliens were detained today at 8th and Ardmore Avenue in Los Angeles. Now, if you look closely, it wasn't just one ethnicity, was it? For years, the left have painted ICE as racist stormtroopers, only targeting browns, right? This footage proves otherwise. They target criminals, point blank, period. Or as Tom Homan says, hard stop. That's probably my favorite. He need to go ahead and put a shirt out to say hard stop. You know what I mean? Like, it's when somebody, a liberal, get to talking, you just go. But again, ICE is always painted as racist for doing the job. But you never hear that in terms of them targeting criminals. You never hear that from MSNBC or CNN because it always crushes their narrative. And if they can't run anything to fuel it, they just leave it alone. Can't fuel it, remove it. And while the media hides the worst of the worst, keep coming back.
Marcio Martins Rodriguez, who is a Brazilian national, is in custody tonight for first and second degree rape of a minor. Cajos police citing ICE records saying Martins Rodriguez was previously deported from the U.S. but came back into the country illegally again. It's unclear when he came back to the U.S. illegally, but it is under removal proceedings now at the Albany County Jail. We're told an ICE detainer is at the jail with the suspect. Marcio.
Man. It always crushes my spirit, man. This man was deported before, came back illegally, and raped a child in New York. Kathy Hochul wants to shield these people while everyday parents are left powerless. Like, honestly, where's their compassion for that little girl? Where's the humanity for her family, right? They always talk about humane this and inhumane that. Democrats talk empathy while protecting predators. Seems like ICE is the only one standing, right? Outside of us, the American people. And before you think it's always simple, there are stories that hit harder and make you wrestle with the complexity of law.
He jumped on the water to take the shark out of his hands.
A man who was praised for saving a little girl after a shark attack is now facing deportation. Luis Alvarez and his friends jumped into the Gulf to save Leah Lindell after a shark nearly ripped off her hand on Boca Grande. Today, Alvarez took responsibility for driving without a license, and now he could be kicked out of the country. Gulf Coast News reporter Alexa Velez is live with the latest from the courtroom.
you understand that your change of plea in this case may be the basis for the United States government to deport or remove you from this country?
It was an emotional day for Luis Alvarez as the judge asked him if he understands the consequences of his pleading guilty. Deputies arrested him in Immokalee in June for driving without a license. Records show he had been detained 3 times before in Lee County for the same charge, but bonded out. This time, he's on an ICE hold and may be sent back to Nicaragua. Alvarez has lived in the U.S. for 3 years on a work visa. Just days before his arrest, Alvarez helped save Leah Lindell, the girl attacked by a shark in Boca Grande. He and other construction workers nearby jumped into the water, carried her and her siblings out, and put a tourniquet on her injured hand. Body camera video from that day shows a Lee County deputy shaking Alvarez's hand, thanking him.
Yeah, this one is tough. A man saves a child from a shark attack. Heroic in every sense for sure, but the law still applies. Because he's been detained multiple times before for breaking the detainer. There's stories like this that expose the cracks, right? We desperately need an immigration system that is both fair and firm. Reward the good, remove the dangerous, and stop the revolving door, rather, that turns lives into headlines. Maybe, yeah, he broke the law, but maybe in a sense like this, he can get there and I don't know. Here's the truth. Democrats call Americans racist for one, safety. They protect judges who let predators sit here and walk free. They play politics while ICE cleans up their mess. It's not compassion. I keep telling y'all, it's corruption. Until we demand better, the victims will always be children, families, and communities left behind. This isn't left versus right. It's about protecting the people who call this country home. And if you think MSNBC and CNN will ever put you first, oh man, you ain't been paying attention. Not at all. If you made it to the end of this video, let's put ruthless on Dems in the comment section. Y'all be safe. Please go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.